Wow. Since David Starr got called out yesterday for sexual abuse, a few independent female wrestlers have come forward with their abuse stories, calling out their abusers. Let's start with the first one, Ligero, who works for NXT UK and occasionally the 205 Live division. Natalia Sykes has publicly called him out for sexually harassing her. She said, "He was my trainer for quite some time. He befriended me when I was around 17, and at that time I thought that was okay because he was my trainer and he had a lot of knowledge I hoped he would pass on to me. He started messaging me on Snapchat, but later it was WhatsApp. He then began to make sexual comments about me, which made me very uncomfortable, but I thought I had thick enough skin to deal with it. So I wouldn't directly confront him, but just laugh at it so he wouldn't get mad at me. It got to the point where the comments were consistent. He would also ask me for selfies or photos of me wearing my wrestling gear after it was just posted to me to show him what it looked like. I never sent him photos because I thought it was very weird, but when I would post something on Instagram he would tell me how pretty I was, etc. He also became rather obsessive over my private relationships with people not involved in wrestling, belittling me and bullying me and constantly highlighting how bad the relationship was and encouraging me to break up. He would also bring up my dad. My dad is not someone I have talked about publicly, but for context, my dad has not been in my life for quite some time. Ligero thought it would be a good idea to psychoanalyze me and my relationship with my father. In the same message, he compared himself to being of my father figure, while also joking about sleeping with me. It came to the point where I was in a very bad place mentally and I completely shut down and stopped training. It was a rough time for me for a variation of reasons. Ligero would message me constantly and I felt pressure to reply even if I didn't have any energy, and it was so draining, especially because I would have wake up in a massive paragraph slating me and my wrestling abilities and how bad of a person I am to then 5 minutes later wanting to be my friend and wanting to have a laugh. I finally went to someone I trusted privately and told them everything that was going on in the situation was sorted, that he wouldn't be able to show up at my training school. I decided to switch to. However, he did try and message me about it and claim that he would have stopped if I told him, etc. We didn't have any contact at shows or online for months until he tried to start messaging me more frequently again and tried to start a conversation over just about anything. I was so scared to speak up about this because I didn't want to lose bookings, people not believing me or siding with him. It isn't a nice feeling. During this time I was friends with Ligero. It made me such a negative person because he had such an influence on me. I hate the person I was during that year and a half. Well, there is her public statement. Ligero has not put out a public statement as of yet. Pete Dunne commented on this saying, "I'm disgusted by what I'm reading. Well done for those who are speaking out. I really hope we can make British wrestling a better place and keep everyone safe. This is a huge eye-opener. Let's hope it will force a big change." After that, Hannah Francesca shared some very disturbing images of bruises all over her body, saying that Jordan Devlin had done this and had done the physical damage. She did say she had some more on her back and arse, but she did not show them because she was not comfortable posting those intimate kind of pictures on social media. So yes, Hannah Francesca has called out Jordan Devlin for being physically abusive. After this, Millie McKenzie has called out Travis Banks. She said, "It's very scared doing this, but I don't want anyone else to go through what I did. Things need to change. Things didn't end with Jake. I began training with Travis Banks when I was 17. We had a secret 1-year relationship which he wouldn't speak to me or be near me in public in case anyone would find out. Cheated on me multiple times in front of my face and it was horrible. Had a massive effect on my mental health and self-confidence. I hated wrestling and the person I became when I was with him. I really hope that the speaking out movement actually creates change in the wrestling industry it so desperately needs." She had a secret relationship with Travis Banks. where he cheated on her, according to Millie McKenzie. And then the last one comes from Holly Barlow, who publicly called out Alexander Cooper for abuse, as well as where is the second name? Just got to get the second name because it's a big long paragraph I'm not going to read. Stephen Abel, I believe, is the second guy she called out. She did publicly thank Sam Bailey in this post for making her not leave the wrestling business. Oh, Abel Stevens. Yeah, Abel Stevens and Alexander Cooper she called out for mental, physical, and I believe sexual abuse. Wow, this is just an incredibly bad situation. I don't think there's any more stories that have been out. But yeah, I will cover any more of this sexual abuse in wrestling situation. It's not a good situation going on right now, I'm going to be honest. So yes, all I can say is please do not go and abuse anyone in this situation. I was just reporting the story on what the female said. None of the men in this situation has put out a public statement at this time. If they do put out public statements, I will update you. Thank you for watching, and I shall catch you all later. Bye.